Ah, the 2200s. A century characterized by chaotic corporate conflicts, where a single small slip-up could set off a sudden spacing. But it's okay, because even conscripts are closer to commodities for consumption. It's been a while since I showed you this place, huh? Well, quite a bit has changed. New weapons, new factions, new upgrades, new quests. Enough intro, let's get started. I'll spare you the tutorial that I always do to start with more stuff. Francis expresses his lust for revenge, and Isabella goes to stab up some colnos with a knife. As she clears up the first floor, she gets a close call with a flamethrower. Shit. It ends worse for the other guys. Taste of Revenge has two ways to reach the servers we must destroy: safe stairs and a guarded elevator. I avoided the stairs this time because the two turrets guarding the elevator are kind of easy to plink down with how the door's positioned. And you can butcher bodies in this game. Turrets included. Yes! Now I have a minigun. Ho, ho, ho. In fact, I'm really happy with how this playthrough started. I left this mission not only with 2 miniguns, but a flamethrower and the switchboards I need to unlock monitoring. Anyway, my first real goal now is to get as many Magnum upgrades as I can early. In particular, after monitoring, I want the capsule, the shuttle, and the scanner. These will maximize my looting abilities for reasons I'll explain when I unlock them. Much of that will be down to luck starting out. We can't loot places unless we're on a job, and we can only leave with our spoils if we succeed or find something really good like an item chip. And with a new update, bailing on a job causes it to fail, and the mission disappears. I gave the data to Ancom like the tutorial suggested, by the way. Yes, Jane warned us not to do this, but we already awakened Quasimorphs on Venus anyway, so backing out might not be possible, or, more importantly, profitable. Doing a big name a big favor could mean a big opportunity in the future, vital for freelance mercs like us. Next up, Isabella goes to clear out an SBN facility so Planet Bridge can capture it. And this turns out to be pretty easy, as right now most of SBN's security service are equipped with basic handguns and not much else. And there's another close call, but it's resolved without too much trouble. And then she goes to clean out Shoe Center so Sunlight Coven can take it from Franche Comte Prison Services. Now, some of these people are running around with batons and metal pipes, but others have actually dangerous gear, like the Border FN4, a shotgun that's decent at range due to its longer barrel and collimator. In between the Border and Isabella throwing things, the job's not so hard. And Sunlight were kind enough to throw in some antidotes as a reward, so as an encore, Isabella sheds the people's front for some lighter, more poison-resistant gear, and goes to kill a scientist of theirs. Her still low poison resist makes things difficult more than once, but eventually she is able to kill the target and make it home. Now we've got the capsule and shuttle upgrades. The capsule lets us leave missions with more loot. We call Jane, she calls the capsule, and we shove our spoils inside. We'll get these even if we get killed. The shuttle is similar in nature. The shuttle we use for The shuttle we use for transport becomes the container that gets added to the cargo hold when a mission ends, win or lose. Unlike the capsule, the shuttle can also be used to store extra supplies if a mission seems especially long or arduous. I considered taking the last mission we've got, but instead decided to show off what monitoring can do. It lets Magnum PMC listen for new opportunities to cause highly profitable mayhem, like this mission from the church to kill some Tianming egghead. Many of their units wield melee weapons, but for Isabella, that just saves her the trouble. And after she finds another border and a weapon rack, her target becomes easy enough to scramble. Next up is a mission to defend church property from a Dilthy attack. I equip Victoria Boudica with a Tongkong class and send her in. Tongkong lacks a core offensive focus besides letting SMGs pierce enemies, but 2 of its 6 perks are about surviving attacks, and 1 makes you stronger for a time when you get wounded. These control missions have an added wrinkle that, on top of protecting yourself, you also need to protect cargo scattered around the map. And you can't complete the mission until all the attackers are dead. This gets irritating due to a new mechanic. Some enemies can get scared, run away, and even surrender. Pretty amusing in most missions, but in defense control missions, you still have to hunt down and kill them. So things get a bit tedious, but eventually we succeed. And with that cleared, Mars is, well, probably not peaceful, but we can't join in any conflicts anymore, and monitoring won't recharge for a day and a half, so we just set course to Phobos instead. Here we have Percy, aka take the Spaceborn Ghosts class and help SBN capture a Grasshopper Technologies base. Spaceborn Ghosts has a focus on handgun use and sneaking, both the stance and the playstyle. In between Assault Reflex, which boosts action points temporarily when attacked, the crit bonus from Sneaky Shot, and the class's buffs to handguns, Percy easily clears the base through copious amounts of small arms fire. Then we send him to kill some Tianming infiltrators. Yes, this is on Civil Resistance's behalf, but it's for the sake of market balance, okay? And it goes okay. Until I get owned by someone who surprises me around a corner. Panic reloading probably didn't help.
Shit. It was going so well, too.
Also, dying now fails the mission as well. See? %beneficiary_name% is accusing Tianming of stealing their data. I'm not sure that's in character for the Civil Resistance since they're terrorists, but okay. Anyway, while the new Percy gets bioprinted, I do some upgrades, set up some manufacturing, and use monitoring to create another mission. This time for SBN to take over the same outpost we just failed our mission in. Like I said, egalitarian capitalism sometimes means doing counterintuitive things. Anyway, I bring in Victoria and, despite some close calls along the way, eventually succeed through use of an admittedly odd method. See, one perk Tong Kong has is Last Bullet. This vastly increases all damage output for a few turns when you empty a weapon's magazine. And that applies to any weapon, from a dinky Galan to a devastating beast. And this also includes single load weapons, guns that are loaded one bullet at a time. By keeping a single load piece like a wreck in my inventory and making sure it only has one shell loaded, I can trigger Last Bullet whenever it's off cooldown, switch to my other weapon, and enjoy the benefits of the perk without having to spend action points reloading. With the aid of this technique, the coal nodes fall without much trouble. Another monitoring, another mission, and this time I bring Percy in with, well, some of the emergency kit. I find medkits a lot more helpful than their individual components. This time it's an assassination of the only coal node in the base important enough to get a rifle. It doesn't make much difference since he's still wearing clothes. Anyway, SBN's happy that he's dead, and I'm happy to leave with plenty of loot. But with no more jobs here at the moment, I move on to Deimos. When we arrive there, Antcom calls us with a job, to take something from a place on Venus. Jane notes that this something probably belonged to the fallen Fresco Corporation, and that means we'll likely be in conflict with several other corporations. I believe story missions like these aren't influenced by tech level or power, so I'll be fighting enemies that are going to be way stronger than I am. I'm not ready for that right now, so I leave this alone. Anyway, monitoring turns up another job. SBN wants to take over Dark Floor from the Sunlight Coven. I bring along Percy again and discover some of them have actual rifles and body armor. This makes killing them difficult, but not impossible. After a final fight where I only almost die, I bring back a duffel full of loot, which SBN is more than happy to add to. Then they want to capture Daydream Chem's base in Sundog Zone. Percy comes out yet again. Daydream Chems is actually dangerous even at tech level 1, because their troops pack the Spit Toxic Launcher. There's not a whole lot of early game armor that protects against poison, so a newbie might get filtered by just a few shots. That's why I sent Percy in with a full stack of sorbents, and they can be made for free and reduce poisoning, infection, and improve the odds of healing poison wounds. And since the Spit counts as a handgun and Daydream are also mostly wearing clothes at this stage, Percy can easily turn the tables. Except against the test subjects. Whatever was done to those people makes them almost completely poison immune. Anyway, the spoils from that mission are enough to unlock the arsenal, where armors the players unlocked can be upgraded. We won't be touching that just yet since we lack the resources. And speaking of resources, it's here where I realize I've got a small dilemma. I haven't talked much about what each faction brings to the battlefield. That's because right now, everyone's mostly packing the same shit. That's due to tech level. Most are still at 1 out of 10. As long as a faction doesn't get stomped on and obliterated, its tech level should advance with time, meaning better armor and weapons for them and us. And there's the dilemma. I could take a few days to just wait or travel, crafting Sorbent all the while to let the factions tech up. This could cause me to bring sticks to a gunfight, but if sticks beat guns, the guns become mine. Or I could spend as much time possible grinding up missions around Mars to improve my stockpiles of loot. This lets me accumulate a healthier cargo hold that can survive a few deaths and other equipment loss, but it is a bit more time consuming. I figure it's always better to have more resources than less, so I'm gonna make you wait for a few weeks while I grind. I'll be back next video with something nice, I promise. I'll see you all next time.